What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Sams, and this is That Comic Show. Now, the last time we left off, the last movie that we talked about was Venom. And ever since then, haven't been able to get on so that we can actually talk about the next few movies that came out at the end of last year. But it's a new year, there's a new comic show, this is season 2. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Let's talk about my man, Aquaman. Before I do that, Aquaman, right here, Lego. It's a Lego set. This was on clearance at Target. Go out there and support Lego. Go out there and get something for your kids. Kids love Lego. Legos is for all ages. The age on this is 9 to 12. But I look at it as 9 times 12, so you can get this and you can do it whatever you want. But I just wanted to show you this because this has Aquaman on it, and Aquaman is pretty cool. All right, that's enough. Now, Aquaman the movie. Given the fact that the DCEU has been a train wreck for the last few movies, it was very hard for me to really muster up the strength to go see Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was going to be a complete bomb. I mean, I like Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is a Samoan. I kind of hate him because he's beautiful, but that's far from the point. The point is, I was not really thrilled with his portrayal of Aquaman in Justice League, so I really didn't know what to expect in this particular movie. However, the movie started off with Aquaman raising a submarine from the bottom of the ocean to the top. So automatically, you're already seeing what kind of strength this guy has. It gives you a little bit of a background. It tells you about Aquaman, the character, how his skin is stronger than humans because he's been underwater. His body has been condensed more to the pressures of the water. The only problem I have with that is that he lived on surface most of his life. Technically, he should be weaker than most Atlanteans because most Atlanteans are accustomed to the underground, the underwater, and all that stuff. However, he's half human, half Atlantean, so that must account for something. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep it going. Now, we see Black Manta. Black Manta is in there, and he has almost been killed by Aquaman because Aquaman came in and stopped his whole scheme of pirating and all that stuff. His father dies in the process, and Aquaman allows his father to die. Black Manta will not forget about that. Clearly, obviously. Let's move on. Now, we're starting to see a lot of characters being introduced in the premise of the movie. The premise of the movie is basically Orm, Aquaman's younger brother, wants to wage war on the surface world. While he's under there, he's strumming up all types of drama, making up all types of lies, helping Black Manta with pirating expositions so that way, or explorations I should say, because of the fact that he wants to rally up this war. If you think about it, it reminds me at least, a lot of First Class, X-Men First Class. Sebastian Shaw, that's what he was doing, right? He was working both sides of Russia and in America to try to drum up this war, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. This movie has a lot of shades of Black Panther, which you've heard already, and if you haven't heard this already, look at the movie, watch the movie, then watch Black Panther. You'll see beat by beat a lot of the same things. He's from the outside world. He's coming in. Basically, that's Killmonger. He's part of an underground society or a secret society built with technology. Yeah, that's the same thing as Black Panther. But nonetheless, they made it their own movie, which I enjoyed. Like I said, I was very skeptical going into this movie. My expectations for this movie, very low. But guess what? It definitely lived up to my expectations and shattered it. I thought it was a great movie that they put together. Yeah, there were some parts of it I had a problem with. The storyline was pretty weak. It was a typical storyline. The love interest wasn't really that compelling as I thought it would be. However, they gave you a nice little twist. His mother, oh yeah, if you didn't know already, this is all spoilers, by the way. So, spoiler alert. His mother was sacrificed and was sought off to be dead. And all of a sudden, she was alive in this 7th world of the sea. I thought that was great. The mother's alive. Kind of reminds me of Ant-Man and the Wasp, how Janet Van Dyne is still alive. That's cool. So we're moving on. Now, all this is happening and everything is happening very quick. Aquaman goes down into the water. He's in Atlantis. He challenges his brother. Now, as he challenges his brother, his love interest actually comes in. Mara is her name. Mara comes through, saves him before he gets embarrassed and punked out by his brother. His brother shatters his trident that his mother gave him because his father gave him a trident and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. It was all right. The fight scenes were pretty good. The underwater scenes were really good, except for a few parts that looked kind of crazy, but it's all right. We're keeping it moving. Now, he has to now look for this special trident that was forged by Poseidon himself. So obviously gods are here in this universe. We actually see that in Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman spoke about how Zeus is her father. Poseidon is the father, well, the grandfather, great-grandfather of Aquaman. So technically these two characters are cousins. Mind blown. Anyway, so we look at him trying to go through the ropes to get this trident, and it seems like we're in a whole different movie altogether. The movie seems different because they're on land, they're jumping out of planes, they're landing in the sands of the Sahara, they're fighting. There's a scene in the movie that looked like a cutout from Fast and the Furious when they're in Rio and they're running and they're jumping through huts and they're falling through tin roofs and all that stuff. That's exactly what we saw. Still, pretty cool. Now, we get further into the movie, and guess what? Black Manta is back, and he has all this Atlantean equipment. He was never meant to be the villain of this movie. The villain of this movie is Orm, but he is there to be that recurring character. But there was a scene where he got thrown, he got hit, he got blasted, and he hit the water, and oh man, he should have been dead. Oh, spoiler. Anyway, so we move on in the movie and he gets to the Trident. Now, this part of the movie I did not like because this seemed a bit too easy. He went there, he spoke to the Kraken backed up. Kraken said, if you're worthy, you can take the Trident and you will be the king. Now, his mother said that she's been trying to look for this Trident and try to get this Trident, but this Kraken has stopped her in every chance. If she's not a king. And what she said is that only the true king can take the Trident. So why is she even trying? I didn't understand that part. Why did you put that part in the movie? Didn't make sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, we're in the same boat. Cool. Now, we get further into the movie and finally he gets the Trident, which he had no effort in getting the Trident. He literally put his hands on the Trident and took it. And he transformed, he put all this material on him and everything like that. It looked like it was like Iron Man, how Iron Man's suit kind of materialized on him and everything like that, materialized on him. Yeah, that's basically what we saw. So he stepped out and he is Aquaman, the traditional Aquaman with the orange shirt, with the green hands and fins and the green pants. And then all of a sudden we get back to Atlantis and this war has broken out. This war looks ridiculous. It's like death everywhere. Again, very similar to Black Panther. In fact, it was almost on the level of Infinity War, that last scene from Infinity War, but I don't know. But nonetheless, they did their thing when it came to this movie. They put this movie together very well. It had a nice little storyline. It had a nice little beat. Very typical storyline, but it had a nice little beat. We get to the end of the movie and there's a fight just like the beginning of the movie between the two brothers, just like Black Panther. I keep saying this, I'm sorry, but the similarities is very uncanny. And the fight breaks out. There was a sick move that Jason Momoa did. He flips over, takes his trident, and wham, shatters the other trident of his brother. Everybody comes through, takes his brother away. It seems as though that this character, man, I forgot his name, Patrick, I forget his name, the actor's name, but he always seems to be caught and then taken away. In this movie, he was caught and taken away. If you look at A-Team, he was caught and taken away. Same exact way. Anyway, I guess he's destined, he's typecast to do this. At the end of the movie, everybody was standing there, everybody was happy, but there was this one part that he said that really got me upset. It's when he said, this is gonna be fun. I was like, why would you mess it up like that? Why would you say that? You seem weird saying that. But at the end of the movie had a nice little touch. The mother came back to the father, Aquaman's mother, found each other again. They kissed, made up. Guess what? It was a happy ending to a DC movie. I know, sounds crazy. A DC movie with a happy ending. That's exactly what we saw. This movie did a great job in what it did. I enjoyed it. I probably won't watch it quickly again, but it was good. It was a Marvel movie and a DC rapper. I thought they did a good job. Now, the next movies that are coming out for DC is going to be Shazam. Not looking forward to that movie. Not looking forward to seeing that movie. It looks like a spoof, but people are saying that the movie is good. Okay. And the next movie after that, I believe, is going to be Wonder Woman 1984, which negates everything that Wonder Woman has said, but I think they're negating everything that the DCEU once was these last few years. And that's good. It's time to go into a new direction, time to go into a positive direction, time to go into a better direction. So anyway, the movie was great. I gave this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It could have been a lot better, in my view, if this movie came out 4 or 5 years earlier. Maybe 3 years. Yeah, if this movie came out 3 years earlier, the score would have been higher. But because other movies came and it took a lot of his stuff from other movies, kind of fell into the same rabbit trap that most movies fall into when it doesn't seem to be more creative than it was. But the underwater scenes, great job. Other than that, I thought the movie was great. So if you haven't seen this movie already, right now it's #1 in the box office, I believe, and it's made over 900 million worldwide. That's a great thing for Aquaman. So good job, DC. Looks like you guys are going in the right direction. So anyway, once again, this is your boy Sam's. This is That Comic Show. This was that review. So like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification button so you can know when we drop new stuff. That's it. Sam's out.